Was
Bang bang to the gang, faithful boys in the building. Y'all know we bang that we can't no more. Prayers, Uncle Keith. Shouts out to P Warrior. What's good with the fellas?
what's going
Bang
on, man?
bang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
P Warrior.
Hey man, yeah, definitely
All
missing
good.
your bro, but we gonna hold it down.
Facts.
Got a lot on the docket. Shit, y'all. We was already talking, a little bit backstage on it. So definitely got to hit on the quarterbacks because we know we can't really talk about the 49ers unless we kind of address the quarterback situation. So we could talk about how they've been doing so far through camp. But we definitely won't get on the defensive side of the ball. Prayers put me on that Elijah Mitchell got hurt, so we could touch on the running backs a little bit too. And I know I feel like that's kind of your specialty, Uncle Keith, the running backs. So
Yeah.
definitely interested on your take with all that. So I mean, Purdy and Lance, fellas. I heard Purdy, seemed like he getting into rhythm or whatnot, and I guess starting to look like himself, which is a plus for us.
Facts.
Uh, Hear that Trey Lance been looking real good, and I guess depending on who you ask, either one has been the better quarterback at camp. Heard Donald been okay, but me personally happy to hear that Trey's doing well. But at the same time, Brock, so just give me y'all thoughts, what you heard, what you're thinking, and I guess projecting going forward into this week coming up.
See, an abundance of riches here. It's nice to have some sort of controversy when it comes to quarterback. It elevates both their play. Donald is third string. Let's just go ahead and say it. Trey has already elevated himself to above him, and QB2 is his to lose. However, the one thing we have not seen from Trey that we've seen from Purdy, whether he's rusty or not, is my dad used to say pressure makes diamond or bust pipes. We got to see Trey under pressure. We got to
Right.
see if that new throwing technique his natural ability to run and get outside the pocket is great, but can he control that ball? Can he put it where it needs to be situationally under pressure? If he's able to do that, then Purdy's gonna have to be a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to be because it's gonna be hard. Think about this. Talk about motivation. In life, very few things can motivate you worse than feeling like you've been slighted. You're a number one draft pick being replaced by Mr. Irrelevant. Don't think that's not a conversation in a man's psyche. Because
Oh
if
yeah.
it's not, he's not being honest. You
Oh
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Let's keep it 100.
Real.
So he went out there and worked off season. His mechanics are better, and he has some friends in the locker room now. He's not the aloof kid who came there. You got Ayuk singing praises and other people singing praises about how Trey is playing, including Lynch. That wasn't always the case. So is there controversy? Not really, in my opinion. It's just abundance of riches to me.
Proud.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, perfectly said. I definitely want to see. I think that's definitely the next step. I don't feel like there's anything that Purdy can do to lose the spot. So I definitely think it's his. But I am looking forward to seeing how those mechanics equate to the game because that's when it's gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times when you in practice, you know what defense the defense is running. You see them the same time. You can tell where they're at just by where they're lined up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that goes. People, I feel like they put a lot in the training camp and practice. Like, yeah, it's good for them to go, but it's like you see these people so many times and you've seen this defense so many times, especially when you've been there year after year. You know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when it's gonna matter when the game's live. He gets some preseason reps and to see if it is gonna equate, if he's gotten better. Does he fall back into the way that they're trying to get away from and everything? I mean, it's like we still don't really know what he can or can't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like until he gets them reps and we see it. Um, that's really kind of just where it's at as far as what it is. I mean, last season and preseason, they didn't play him a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really had a whole lot of chances. So it'll be good to see them live reps. I think when they start doing them live practices, them joint practices as well, you're going to get that. I mean, we just got to get live action to really find out. But, I mean, it's good to hear the good things from all sides. And so I've even heard good things about Darnold. So it sounds like as long as we, no matter if even in worst case scenario, if we got a comparable quarterback, you know what I'm saying, that can come in there and do what needs to be done, even at the highest level, we can still win games in the playoffs with our third QB. And a lot of teams love to be able to say that. So it's just seeing how it plays out.
Now the
And with the
joint
49ers,
practices. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, with the 49ers injury history, we got to have that depth at quarterback. We cannot end another season like we just did.
Facts.
That's what I was going to say, bro.
Facts.
The joint practices are against the Raiders, right?
Yeah, they're coming up. They're next week, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you said something that I thought was key when you said he finally had friends in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's big. Because we have some personalities in the locker room, and like you say, for a long time, I guess he was kind of on the outside looking in. I do have a question for y'all about Purdy though. Now,
What's that?
for as good as he been doing, and I do factor in the rust, I also heard that he been somewhat doing what he did a little bit last year as far as throwing some of those picks that everybody was dropping. My question would be, how long a leash does Purdy ultimately have?
His lease is as long as a loss. Because then what we're talking about is not a controversy, it becomes a controversy, it becomes a quarterback competition. This team is built to win and win this year. And if Purdy comes out there slinging the ball all over the place and acting immature, they're going to pull him in quick. If for no other reason than to see what Trey can do under pressure and whether that's enough to push both of them to be better. What's the worst can happen? We have two great quarterbacks.
Bro.
I mean, at least that's a great question, though, bro.
Yeah,
how long a leash do you give him?
With all he did last year, I'm just,
Yeah. I mean, I don't, unless he gets hurt, I don't think he's coming out. Like Shanahan said today when they asked him, and I'm paraphrasing, he was asked how they feel about kind of what you asked, and he was like, we know what we're not worried about Brock. We know what Brock is. We know Brock's the real deal, and that was it. So it's like I don't see no situation. Like I also don't think that he's gonna struggle. Like these numbers that he put up, man, like he went head to head with Mahomes back at Texas Tech when it was like when Mahomes was there, when like this dude is just like he's done this. Like he's done what he's done from the very beginning. And so it's just like personally, man, he gonna throw picks. Like I don't really look at it. I don't look at the picks as a bad thing, bro, because a young Brett Favre, a young Peyton Manning, a young Tom Brady, all them cats threw hella interceptions, bro, especially young. And so it's like, and with Brett Favre, you know what I'm saying? It come with the territory. You know what I'm saying?
You believe in him that much?
No, I'm saying even the great quarterbacks early in their career all threw a lot of interceptions. Most quarterbacks early in their career are going to throw a lot of interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think that you can base if he's going to be playing or not off his interceptions, just because it just come with the territory. In my opinion, I'm not saying I'm not saying that he's great like them. I'm just saying the leash that he has when it comes to a leash. I mean, the defense is too good, man. It's a run first offense. Like after the show last week, Uncle called me and I made the statement that we're never going to find out how good or bad Brock Purdy is.
Wow.
Because he don't have to.
Correct.
He in a controlled environment, huh?
100%. It's the run game. It's the defense. It's the offense. It's just like you're never going to find out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never going to find out.
You got a tight end Kittle that'll go through 3 lanes of traffic to get to the ball.
You got
You
Christian
got you got McCaffrey who's everywhere. You got Debo who can juke and junk and joke. I don't care if you love him or don't love him. He produces. I mean, you got so much talent in front of him that all he has to do is manage to manage. But you got something else with this kid, and I've been saying it since the day I saw him. You got that heart, that intangible you cannot train into somebody or out of them. This kid has the respect of the locker room no matter how much conversation goes on because he went out on the shield. And that's league wide.
when then you
You
found
feel
out
what I'm saying?
he had them broke
When he
ribs
was,
last, and he
yeah,
had them
he,
broke ribs last year. Through
and
almost
won games.
well, and through almost the whole second half of the season, he had broken cracked ribs. Didn't even hear about it. Just found out about that. It's just like if he ain't coming out the game. Like unless he can't play, he's not coming. He's not coming. He's not coming out the game. It's unfortunate. I feel for Trey, bro, just because this offense and your skill makers and all of these things that you have around these, bro. I mean, how long was Jimmy Garoppolo able to mask his deficiencies, bro? Like behind Shanahan.
Now you got a good point there, and I'm feeling everything y'all saying. Only, and it's not even an argument. The only statement I could really make to somewhat counter what you're saying is ultimately, and I guess it's speaking to your point, Uncle Keith, if he doing well but we not winning, and
Oh, for
we
sure.
and not totally because of him, but if you make some of those bonehead mistakes and throw it right to the linebacker and we lose the game a couple times, to me, you start they start chirping a little bit.
Oh, definitely. Definitely start chirping. But
Now,
I'm going
will
to ask
that
you
result in
how
him
good is
actually
our
getting
coach?
yanked? I doubt it.
How good is our coach to let this kid scheme himself into that kind of foolishness?
But this is the thing, let's keep it a buck. Like he been in the same environment since he got there. I could count damn near, I've seen him throw it right to the opposition a couple times and they just won't catch it. You feel me? So it's not like it's the same plays.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. How many times has he been dropped that ball there on a dime?
I guess more than he throwing picks.
we
That's a
talking about
very
are we
good
talking
guess.
about our wide receivers?
I'm talking about to our wide receivers,
Oh yeah.
Purdy's ball placement in general. It's been spot
I,
on a lot of
yeah.
majority of the time.
I think that's one of his. I think that's one of his
One of his strengths.
strengths for sure.
So with that being said,
He's a gun.
trust factor comes in.
He's a gunslinger. He's gonna make bad though because he
That's
this is what
good.
he's gonna do. And that's what I was trying to get when I was saying like early Drew Brees, early. That's what I should have
Oh,
said. He's
yeah.
a gunslinger. So that mentality is whether he can do it or not, he feels like he can make every throw. And you see that in him. So it's gonna come, it's gonna be bad plays. Do I think he's gonna have enough bad plays to get to the point that he yanks them? I don't see it. Like I don't see it because this you got Christian McCaffrey, bro. You got this run game. Now you don't have the run game, completely different story. You don't have Christian McCaffrey, completely different story. But as long as you can put McCaffrey at the backfield and he catch that 2 or 3 yard pass, and it's like, what are you
Right.
gonna do? Then you got Debo, then you got Ayuk. It's just like he would have to drop off something tremendous, in my opinion, for it to be.
And Ray's looking good this
Yeah.
training camp too.
Um,
We got some receivers back there.
and
Let me ask you a question then. I think that Purdy always has a puncher's chance in every game. And the reason I'm using the boxing analogy is I see a lot of quarterbacks are shadow boxers. Purdy's a club fighter. He's been hit before and he's hit back. And I cannot put enough emphasis on that heart this kid has. To not know all the second half of the season that he had broken ribs and to see how he performed game in and game out and went against head to head one of the best quarterbacks in the game and beat their tail, because of his play, says a lot about this kid.
I don't know because ultimately, in my mind, and he'd have to win. But in my mind, it's all about Shanahan. You know what I'm saying?
A
And
lot
when
of
I
it
say
is.
that, it's not a knock to Purdy, but like we talk about that controlled environment. How much is Purdy just dicing it up, and how much is this shit schemed up to be a buffet
It's
with
gonna be.
all the weapons and this great mind that's calling the plays and setting up these plays
Well,
and see what
It's
I'm saying?
always yeah. No, you're right. It's always gonna be like that. But it was like that for Montana with Walsh. It was like that with Steve Young. Like it's like in that West Coast offense. Like in that West Coast offense, like everybody put up numbers. Everybody put up numbers in the West Coast offense. You know what I'm saying? And the better your skill position outside of it, the better your defense, it's gonna run itself. It's the way the offense is set up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I think any quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Like any quarterback. I mean, Jimmy G, most people said forever what they said about Jimmy G, you know what I'm saying, here nor there. But the fact is bro, he's on a Raiders team that has playoff aspirations, and he's the head QB. That's who they decided to pay with that team that they have that they've built with the Devontae Adams, with the Josh Jacobs, with all those, you know, with the Darren Waller, you know what I'm saying? They got dudes, and they said Jimmy's our dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And what I'm getting to that is that this offense this offense is catered. It's like it's completely catered to the
I just
quarterback.
hope he have a little bit more it factor, I guess, ultimately than Jimmy did when it
Oh, for
counted.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? And like if he got it don't have to be a whole hell of a lot, but long as he got enough, then I,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Then I can really rock
And he
with
got
him.
to prove it, and he's got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Because his playoff games, them last two playoff games, like he didn't have crazy stats against the Cowboys. He didn't have a crazy first half against Seattle. So when it came down to it, you know what I'm saying? He had a couple of suspect. Like, all right, man, you look a little Jimmy S right here. So you know what I'm saying? So he does. He's got to prove it. But we ain't
but
gonna know until we get in that situation.
Real.
the one thing about Purdy that I want to tell you is that the second game he was QB1, he went off script and he made a big play. And you can see the collective sideline take a deep breath and get into it. They got fired up. That's when he won the locker room. He has maintained that locker room since then because he went off script. Now, is he going to make mistakes going off script? Yes. But let me tell you something. If you ever want to shake Shanahan up and get the most out of his team, you better be able to go off script. That's my point. And I think that's why I liked him so much because he wasn't a machine like Jimmy G.
Facts.
He wasn't scared to take a chance, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He put some hot sauce on that chicken, man. He bit that thing.
I like that.
Facts. But
You feel what I'm saying?
he got a lot to prove, bro. Like 100%. And can he lose that starting position this year? Absolutely. We know this NFL, bro. Ain't nobody giving nothing.
And one thing about a club fighter, though, you can hit him upside the head, but you're gonna take one back. He's gonna have to go out fighting and screaming. That's all good for us. That's good for us.
but
Him having to fight to keep that job is good for us as a team. Him
facts.
having to do self-reflection and evaluate, okay, I made a mistake. How can I avoid doing that again? Is good for our team. Him having no competition behind him is bad for our team. It's
Real.
good for Trey also, because Trey has to get his stock back up.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's a win-win when how we look at it.
Like national media ain't giving Purdy no favors. There's a couple people that got him ranked in like the low tier quarterbacks, and it's wild.
Good,
That shit's wild to me. But yeah, to that point, it's like
good.
he ain't coasting. Like the world doesn't look at Brock Purdy maybe how
As
I
a
do.
threat.
Yeah, no, they don't. So it's like, and that's just more ammo. That's just, in my opinion, that's just more ammo on the fire. It's just like there's so much stacked up against him. It's just like I mean,
We
honestly,
look at our quarterback as a warrior.
gonna have a crazy year, man. I think he's gonna have a crazy year just because. I mean, that dude. I mean, what he did last year, he didn't have. He wasn't taking first team reps in training camp. He didn't get none of that until he was a starting quarterback,
Man.
bro. He would
Hey,
they said that there was that time that Fred Warner called him out, you know what I'm saying? Because he was supposed to be mimicking practice players
yeah.
in those games. He was a scout team quarterback, and he was supposed to be mimicking the quarterback that he was playing, and he wouldn't come in there and do that. And so he would be in there dicing up that first team defense when he's supposed to be doing the scouting things, and he wasn't doing it. He wasn't there for it, bro. So it's just like I think
He knew.
he's
He
something.
knew before we knew. He knew before we knew. Hey, listen, I got to close my deal sheet. I just found out the last customer just left, and they cutting out lights.
Okay.
Gotcha. Y'all.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get home real quick, and I'll jump back on. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right. Be blessed. Bye bye.
But yeah,
Hey, bro.
I don't know, bro. He got to prove it. He got to prove it, and there's a long way to go, and anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Now, real spill, like you say the main thing to me, dog, and I'm glad at least you have that attitude. Like with everything that he did, that's great, but you still got to prove it this year, bro. You feel
Fact.
me? I appreciate what you did last year. You carried us. You helped us. Great. I need you to do that and more. You
And more.
feel me?
And more. 100%. 100%.
My only fear is in the big game when you play against the elite competition, are you gonna be able to elevate your game? You feel me? Uh and if he could show me that, like I'm somebody, but if he shows that, I think all of us, then we can really say we got something. And if you choose to get off trail, whatever, it'll be more digestible for me. You feel me? Because you gave up a lot to get him that we
Yeah,
not,
no.
that we not able to capitalize on. So if you're not gonna be able to make that work, you got to come through with something else
Facts.
to make us not look at this gaff as much. You feel me? So,
A thousand.
and if this the route they going, okay, all right, but you got to show me, bro.
Yeah, no, we're gonna find out. I mean, you got big games throughout the season. I think the biggest one, that Sunday night game against the Cowboys. That's gonna be a big one. You know what I'm saying? I personally
Real.
think I think first week, I'm telling you, man, I think we get out the gate slow anyways. 49ers have under Shanahan's tenure. First week has always been a game that we struggle in, and going to Pittsburgh, I mean, he's got a real game right off top. Like, we got a real game and a real hostile environment. You know what I'm saying? Open up the season in Pittsburgh. That's what they got out there, though. That's a die-hard football city. So he gonna have to prove himself from the get-go.
So prayers. If we go to Pittsburgh and we look like offensively anyway, like Errol Spence did against Bud Crawford, first week, and we look that bad, they chirping out the gate.
Well, they chirping now, though. They chirping now.
That's
That ain't
true. That's
that ain't
true.
going away. That ain't going away. Period. That's not going away. Whether Purdy's the quarterback one or Trey Lance is quarterback one, because the fans is on that bullshit. But bigger than that, the media is on that bullshit. We know year after year that one of the biggest targets in national media coverage is the 49ers. And we've always had that quarterback controversy, and they always gonna make it out to be what it's been. I mean, the word was Trey Lance was doing horrible this entire training camp. And then Purdy come out, have a few good practices, and starts to get established. Now the next thing is Trey Lance is killing everything. He's gonna be quarterback one. It's just like that's always gonna be there. But I think that is completely different than what goes on in that locker room.
Proud.
So, but yeah, it's always gonna be there. I think he could come out. I think he could come out and lose the first two games, and I still don't think that they would make the change. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I just 31 points, man. But I don't see that happening either. And I could be naive, but it's like all we can say is the man is 9-0 and we average 31 points a game in that, you know what I'm saying? And with Shanahan, that's gonna ring a lot. And so, but if he comes out in this, I mean, it's just hard for me to fathom him playing that bad in consecutive 2 or 3, 4 weeks in that first month for it to get to that point, because we didn't see it with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we didn't see any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to fathom it happening. That doesn't mean it can't happen. There's I don't know, but it's a Super Bowl team. You know what I'm saying? I know that's what their aspirations are, and so I guess here's my question to you: is
What you say?
let's say, you know what I'm saying, 4 games in the season, we 2-2, right? Let's just say it's like that, and he's paid mediocre, a little bit, not great, not horrible, mediocre. With a Super Bowl team, are you making that change at quarterback?
I doubt it. Yeah, like and dog, we on the same page because I was gonna hit you with this. If we start off 1-3, he out of there.
Oh yeah,
Personal opinion. One
yes.
and
No,
three,
he could definitely be out of there.
he got it. 2-2, I gotta stick with you. We at 500. Is now depending on how bad you played in the
Right.
losses, but I still gotta ride with you a little bit. We get to 2-4, some shit though.
Oh yeah, no, 1-3, and I think yes, you're probably at a situation where Trey Lance is coming in for sure. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, but 500. Nah, I
Yeah,
think they're gonna ride with him, and then you figure Shanahan figure he could get more out of the situation, so he gonna stand pat anyway. So
right,
yeah, nah, I think
right.
I wouldn't, not after,
It's
not
yeah,
after
no,
that one.
it's just gonna have to play itself out. There ain't real.
Nah, dog, but you right too, cause like you say, for whoever in there, it's gonna be the same shit, and
Oh,
that's
it's
I
not going.
guess to a certain degree what I'm not even factoring in, which is obvious. Like it's not like if Trey do get the job,
It
whatever
goes
go
away.
on, right? Yeah, like
Soon as he
so,
has a bad half, it's whoever it is, whoever it is. Purdy have a bad game, it's over. Everybody out for him. Trey Lance have a bad game, it's over. Everybody out with him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
right.
this fan base is so split. You know what I'm saying? And we're such for whatever. Our team is such a media darling, being from the West Coast, and negativity with that, with us being in the West Coast and an East Coast dominated media market that is the
Real.
NFL. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that, and to me, that's why. And it's been like that, like you said, man. It's been like that since he's been here with these quarterbacks. I like that. To me, would be the most tiring thing for them people in that front office, for them players, for them coaches, bro. It's just like the real problems don't even exist inside the locker room. It's literally outside of the locker room where all this shit goes, and all it would just be. And so whatever it is, whether it's Purdy or Lance, man, I just want to get our quarterback, bro, and get rid of the other one so we can get past this shit, bro. Like get past it. Like every year, bro. It's just like, can we get our quarterback so we ain't got to deal with the media shit? Like, so we ain't got to have these conversations. So these dudes ain't always looking behind their shoulders type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Or having to hear it. It's just like, it's crazy. I couldn't imagine being either one of those dudes. Or Trey and Jimmy when it was them two for them. I
Right.
couldn't just imagine having to do it like all the time. That's all you would hear. And you really can't even comment on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just gotta take it, just be quiet and go. It would be some shit to deal with, bro.
Nah, real spill. Well, say, bro, we gonna switch it over to the defense, bro.
Right?
Again, when we was talking backstage, you was telling us they switched up the scheme to a certain degree to the 5-2-4. Now I need you to break that down for me. I'm gonna have a couple questions for you. Like I
Yeah,
guess interchangeable personnel type
I
shit,
think
but
it was just like they're going just have it in situations. It ain't gonna be our
oh,
main defense or
okay, okay,
that. No,
okay,
it's just something that he's going to implore. How I was reading it and taking it from a situational standpoint. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? And so definitely no, not the main scheme or anything like that, but
All right, all right.
5-2-4. So five linemen, 2 linebackers, 4 DBs. And so on the field, it was Armstead, Drake Jackson, Hargrave, Kinlaw, and then Farrell, just because Bosa's not there. So you know what I'm saying? I think Farrell would be the first off the bench, and then Kerry Hyder. You got Charlton to opposite Bosa. for that. You know what I'm saying? Then they had Greenlaw and Warner as the linebackers, and then Huff, Gibson, Ward, and Lenore as the DBs in that situation. And so to me, it's like when do you play that defense? I guess what is the situation where that defense
Like it
becomes
feel like a base. Like when you describing it to me nine, you saying situationally. I mean, you got two corners, two safeties. It seemed like a base to me. You know what I'm
yeah?
saying?
When
But
do
when
you
you
employ that?
naming a line, I'm like, shit, that's a hell of a D line, baby.
But none of them drop back either, though. So you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have any, and that's what is that a run defense? You know what I'm saying? Is that a short down run defense that you employ that in? Because it's like you're not gonna put that on a passing situation because your ends aren't dropping back. You're not gonna drop Bosa in coverage. You're not gonna drop Drake Jackson in coverage. So it's like I don't know what situation that they would use that in. Um,
Well, I look at it like this. Well, I mean, sometimes they come out three wide, third down, but to a certain degree, first in it, like first or second down, I think you can kind of run it, especially if they, two tight ends or some shit, one tight end and a fullback, the offense, because we got linebackers who could cover,
Facts.
and you can send the five. It just depends on, who they got coming out the backfield, how many outlets coming out the backfield type shit. I think they probably could pull it off.
That makes sense.
Because cover to it, it don't matter. Shit, Warner could play, the hook of the cloud flat or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that speed between Warner and Greenlaw definitely makes it a possibility.
and
And
then what you were saying with Huff,
facts. And you ain't gonna Bosa don't need a lot of time to get there, and hopefully Jackson don't. And we know Hargrave don't need a lot of time to get there. So,
but dog, you said Armstead, Kinlaw, and Hargrave.
in the middle,
That's a hell of an interior, bro.
With Bosa coming on the edge, and we're gonna see what we got in Drake Jackson. Yeah, no, I mean that's wild, bro.
And you figure Kinlaw gonna get some like no double teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he should be able to really just, use that country strength.
Power through, yeah. It should be power through right up the middle. Because that's what Hargrave gonna do. And so I think this is a big year for Armstead. I like Armstead. I don't think he's ever made his contract. We need him to really step up. You know what I'm saying? We need them numbers. It's not like he's a great presence. He's great at what he does. He's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? But we also need them sack numbers, man. We need them sack numbers. And hopefully, Wilkes coming in and being a DB guru. That's where I really want to see us take that step. You know what I'm saying? It's interceptions as a team. You know what I'm saying? And turning that ball over, like we did a little bit last year. And so we're gonna see how it goes.
Dog, when you talk about Armstead again, he should be single blocked for the most part. I mean, he might catch some doubles, but with Bosa and Hargrave, some of y'all gonna be 1-on-1, bro. Like, and to speak, to your credit, what you're saying, y'all gotta win the matchups, dude. You gotta win. Drake Jackson, I hear you looking good. What you say?
No, I'm saying hands down, they got to. All the money that's right there. I mean, like that. It's gotta be. Has to be, especially even before Bosa. But now when he get his money, that's gotta be the most expensive defensive line in football, and it probably ain't even close. Like y'all gotta produce like 100%. Like there ain't no, like it can't be this in the playoffs where it was just Bosa by himself shit again. Like, nah, bro, y'all niggas make way too much money for that shit.
Yeah, y'all gotta get active.
Way too much talent. You got the best linebacker tandem in the league, bro. Like, y'all gotta fucking produce off top from that line. You know what I'm saying? With sacks, bro, with pressures, with all that. It can't just be Bosa, bro. But hopefully, man. Hopefully the biggest two pieces coming in. I think Hargrave's gonna make huge dividends with us, but throwing them with them, we really need Drake Jackson and Kinlaw to take that step, man. We absolutely have to have it.
I think Drake gonna be all right, bro. Like I
Facts.
definitely think he gonna flash for sure.
Yeah.
Now, how consistent he gonna be, I'm still not 100 on that, but I think definitely more than last year, right? Uh, but I think he gonna splash, bro. With all those again, all those dudes on the line, you too good of an athlete not to win
Facts.
a good amount of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about Taco. I heard he came in straight off being signed. It was looking good, but
But that's what they said.
you seem like you know about him and real high on him to come in and play with the rest of the dudes. So like, you got a lot of options, man. They
A
got to
lot
hunt that
of options.
quarterback, like.
A lot of options. A lot of
And
options.
then who it is, McCrary Ball, if I'm saying his name right. They say
Uh-huh.
he looking real good at the linebacker. You already talking about Warner and Greenlaw. I don't know if I guess Burt gonna wind up making it, but seem like they just got a lot of
A lot of the first he's taking a lot of the first reps, Burt,
Burke.
in the three linemen. Uh in the three linemen. Right now he's the protected starter from what I've read for the third
Okay.
linebacker. But McCurry Ball is coming up on them. And so you know they do linebackers. We ain't gotta worry about linebackers. That's what they do. So yeah, no. I think Oliver, our nickel cornerback, Womack, you know what I'm saying? I think we got a lot of pieces, man. Like
I'm
Benny,
big on Womack, though. I like Womack.
yeah,
He flashed to me right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? I guess Oliver he come with Wilkes, kind of right.
yeah. Man, what did they say? Him and C Ward, Charvarius were the best tackling corners in the league last year.
Okay,
Two of the
okay.
top four, two of the top three or four. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Oliver. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He physical, good at rushing the quarterback. You got Oliver. I mean, you got Womack. I've heard that Ambry Thomas is getting back. That they've
Okay.
started to talk about him more, which his drop off last year was crazy because the
Yeah.
year before he
He
was,
played all right. Yeah, he came around at the end.
especially in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He was really there. And then I don't know if it's more Demo, but it was also Demo's position at first at that year. And
Yeah.
then Ambry took it and then hold it, and then Demo took it back. But Demo's a dog, man. And them stats he put up last year, you know what I'm saying? It's like we in a real good spot. And then you get the best DB coach in the league with Wilkes coming in as your corner. You know what I'm saying? It's just like all the pieces are there. You got the players. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a huge loss with Shire. It's gonna be hard to replace. I love Aziz, man. It was
Yeah, I like Aziz too.
it was hard for him to go. You know what I'm saying? But once they paid Greenlaw, we knew he was out the door because
Right.
you can't pay him all. So and then, but I mean, D Winners from TCU, uh,
Linebacker, right?
bruh, bro, bruh, he making noise. He's making noise. And so
That's what
he,
I
but
like to
also,
hear.
but also, you know what I'm saying? He's another one that can line up off that edge. Like I think we got a lot. Like we got a lot. We got a lot. And there's another one. There's another dude that we drafted. That could plays that DN linebacker, but D Winters is really making noise, bro. He's a monster at TCU. I mean, if you watch him
Okay.
in that championship game, in those games, he was all over the field in both games. In the semifinal game, I mean, they got blew out in the national championship, bro. But he was making plays. It's like it's a big time player, man. And it's just there's so much to this defense, and there's so many pieces, and you got so
Who
many.
is the safety that they drafted?
Oh, Jair Brown. We didn't even talk about Jair Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly, bro. Like and here's the thing. Like, if John Lynch drafts you, if John Lynch drafts you as a safety, you know what it is, bro. Bro,
I
that's
know
the
that's
dude
right.
right there. Especially spending a first rounder. Oh, hey, he's that dude. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely Gibson's last year, and he might at some point get replaced by Jair this year.
Look, that's what I was about to say. You think he gonna make out the year? Cause
No,
how long he gonna be able to
I
hold
see
him
the way that
off?
they talk about Jair, bro. Like, it sounds like they talk about this dude is that really that guy. I mean, we know safeties don't get drafted in the first round. That's not a
Not
real
real
thing.
talk.
That's not a real thing. So, uh, Yeah, no, I don't. And I don't think it has nothing to do with Gibson. Yeah, it just has more so to do with Brown. Like,
Nah, right.
but
Nah, him and
yeah,
Huff back there, that's gonna be nice.
young too, man. It's like, you can they're doing good at filling in this defense with very good young talent to help extend this window, because at some
And
point
that
the money becomes a factor, and you gotta
oh
you gotta replace these players before they're out, so that way you can continue to pay. Like, we got big
nah,
time.
we on the same page, dog. Cause I was thinking the same thing. Like the the age range and the I don't know. It just seemed like it. Everybody within like a 5 to 7 year span of each other to me. You know what I'm saying? And you on the tail end of some of them about to go out, but you already then kind of replenish the crop. Now they can learn from some of these before they roll out, and then you kind of
Facts.
keep that tradition going. So you spot on, bro.
Facts. When you bring in this, they signed Deshaun Goldson. He's one of the coaches, which, that's the part.
What?
That's the down.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
prayers,
yeah.
prayers, prayers, prayers. Stop the press, dog. Time out, bro. Say, bro. First off, favorite fucking safety
Oh, bro.
duo ever. And I
Oh,
just saw some highlights of them like on
bruh.
Instagram or some shit.
It
And
was
you
crazy
tell
about
me,
him too.
fucking right.
Yeah, both him and they signed both
I know
him
they
and
got go.
yeah,
I know they got
back to back days, back to back days. So he's one of the DB coaches now, bro. It wasn't nothing like watching him and Whitner back there. My God, it wasn't nothing like watching them two
just
murder,
tattooing people.
murdering them dudes week after week. You remember that? You remember that hit that Whitner put on Sproles in that opening drive at that
No,
conference
no, no,
game?
no. Listen to me. It wasn't Sproles because I was just about to say for my Saints brethren who might catch this
Okay.
shit. Y'all remember when he knocked PT Cruz ass off?
Oh
That was
yeah.
your boy.
Boy,
Number
boy,
23.
that changed that game right there, because they were driving, bro. They marched right down that field, bro,
Bah!
and then that game was over. That game was over right after that play.
That was it, bro.
That
That
was
was
wild.
it.
Bro. That was wild. But yeah, good. Boy. But yeah, no, if because Jair supposedly hit like that, we know Huff can hit. He be missing tackles, so it's just like, no, that's good, man. That's good, bro. It's good, because I think Staley the next one. I think Joe Staley the next one that they're gonna get
Oh
to come
man,
in.
to see if they do that, bro. Now you're talking and you bringing back people who really was, like a part of setting the culture.
Oh,
You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
We was there. They didn't get that ring neither. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they still, there's those players that you're bringing back that still they were that close. You know what I'm saying? And so you bring them back into the fold. That ring for them, even as coaches, is just ain't as important as a player, but it means, like, so you get that mentality, you get those players, and it's just a hunger all around with the team that's already dropped what could have been 2 Super Bowls. They got to feel
Hmm.
like it's just like at some point, you just stack it up, stack it up, and then that motherfucker tip over in your favor. Yeah, it's definitely coming.
Man, I'm about to tell you, bro. I hope it tips soon, cause, bro, I've been waiting on this guy. We've been on the quest for 6 for a minute, brother.
Man,
Yeah, man. And we done got close, like I said, a couple times, and then we let the cat out the bag.
man.
Goddamn fish jump out the net. Whatever analogy you want to use. We close,
It's
no cigar, all that shit.
definitely been some heartbreakers, man. I know them damn. I tell you, them damn Kyle Williams fumbles against the Giants, bro.
Boy,
It's
you
just like,
just brought up a name there, boy.
man, bro. It's just, we done seen, and it's just like last year. I'm telling you, man. This off season, having it go out the way that we did, and him getting hurt on that first play, and having to watch that game, not having a backup quarterback. I have never been so disconnected from an off season as I was this year. Like, it's just like there's a lot of pains, but that shit last year, it was just like, to be watching that game in the first quarter and be like, bro, it's over. This is how this shit is gonna really end. Like, we can't even fucking throw a pass. Fourth quarter, Christian McCaffrey, our quarterback, bro. It's just like, that shit is Disgusting.
Yeah, that when you know you can't do nothing then. You hear me?
Man, that was crazy. All the ways we's lost, you know what I'm saying? Like Crabtree's non-pass interference in the end zone. Kyle Williams, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy running out there against the Rams, having that shoulder and the finger, bro. Just being in these spots where you just go out that way. He's like, oh, I can't get no worse. Well, bro,
Here we go.
it was crazy. That shit, like, come on, bro. They changed the rule. Like, they changed the rule to be able to carry an extra quarterback because of that shit. Like, it's just wild, bro.
Shanahan effect, bro.
Man, it's
Shanahan effect. Man, you brought up Kyle Williams, bro. And it's funny because he started off rolling. I remember when they put Kaepernick in against Chicago. It was lighting their ass up. And he went from that to
he
the
was lighting their
multiple
ass up.
fumbles,
Facts,
getting
bro.
hit, what he tore his knee up and all this shit on the same. It was rough, dog. It was rough. And I used to like Lil Kyle, man.
Me too. Yeah, man. He came in and played well, but it was over. Like, bro, that man. Unfortunately, nobody loses a game, but bro, that dude single-handedly, almost like that shit was wild, bro.
Yeah, stumbling and bumbling, dog. Like, what the? That was different, bro.
Yeah,
That was different. So D-line looking good. Best back is in the business, and we talked about, I guess, Marquere Ball a little bit. What used to be a DB, right?
yeah,
Safety or something, I think.
yeah. Safety. I think it was a safety. You know, which they got a lot. They got a knack for doing that, turning them safeties that ain't quite cut at the NFL level, turning them to above average linebackers. So yeah, no, we know we good. We know we good. From there, it'll just be you know what I'm saying. You know, in 4 years, you've gone from Salah to damn, bro, I cannot believe it.
D'Amico.
Yeah, my bad. Like that's, and then now you know what I'm saying. Wilkes, you know what I'm saying. So it'll be cool to see how the defense goes and see if we can really take that step into becoming a top 5. I think obviously we have, in my opinion, the best defense in the NFL. I think the only thing that we haven't had, we've managed to have a top defense in the NFL without having top sacks and top turnovers. And if we can get that, which is what we need, it's crazy to be one of the best defenses in the NFL and not be the best in those areas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we can get that, man, it just puts a whole nother perspective of domination, like that the team could really have, man. And then then you get to the point where you start to mask your offense, and it's not like our offense needs to be masked in any situations, but at some point, you know, if we can really get to the quarterback and somebody produce, you know, if we can get a 10 or 12 sack guy opposite of Bosa, man, bro, like what that'll do for this team, just period, man.
They could be a lot more sticky in the secondary. You're right on that.
%. And then translate it in the playoffs. It's got to translate that they gotta build that and then do that shit in the playoffs, because we don't do that in the playoffs for whatever reason. And that's where we need it, man. And so there's a lot of good. I mean, the team's stacked, bro. We've been stacked, but we know we've been stacked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really don't mean shit being stacked if you ain't taking that, getting that ring, getting it done. So,
nah, you right on that, bro. Like, ultimately, if you could get the ball back for the offense that's scoring 31 a game, you know, like that's a good look. You feel me? So, and really and truly, I mean, and again, shouts out to my Saints people. But when I always think about championship defense, I think about that Saints defense when they won the Super Bowl with Darren Sharp at safety, bruh. They was turning people over left and right, son.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, pass rush was on point, linebackers hitting, and they, man, look, 3 to 5 seconds, get it out, and they all over everything. And I think we got that type of ability, those type of players, especially once we put the young, because Gibson the goddamn ball hawk.
Yeah.
So And I won't see him do some kind of 3 safety shit on the low, bro. Just just that's just me.
They definitely. If he incorporating that 5-2-4, you definitely gonna see a variation of the 3 safety because Jair is too good not to play, and the other two, I mean, Gibson was a Pro Bowl alternative, and Huff was all pro. So it's like, you're gonna play him, you're gonna put him out there. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna see that 3 safety look for sure.
Yeah, I gotta see that, bro. And I guess last, man, you told me, Elijah Mitchell. Oh, he at it again. That same old tricks. Hell of a running back. Just seemed like he always getting nicked up by something. You told me today he gonna be out for a little while. Uh, it's kind of enigma, but what do you think? I guess long term we should do with Mitchell.
How many years he got left?
I feel like 2, but I could be totally wrong. Let me see.
Oh, I mean, kind of like what you were talking about on the defense. I mean, they've already replaced him.
Props.
with somebody with people that are on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently, man, there's that undrafted free agent Leon something running back that's making noise so far in camp. And so, no, I mean, you definitely ain't paying him. So, I mean, when his contract's up, it's probably up. But with Mason, TDP, you know what I'm saying? Shanahan's always been able to get 1,000-yard running backs that nobody's ever heard of. Like, so it's just like that run game gonna produce itself. And so hopefully, man, he can stay healthy, man, because if you're able to put him as a 2 behind McCaffrey, I mean, that only solidifies and makes us good. Because I mean, if he's ever healthy, bro, that's a 1,000-yard running back easy. Elijah Mitchell's an easy 1,000-yard running back every year if he can stay healthy. It's just not been able to work in that facet. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of.
Look, he signed a 4-year, basically a little better than $3.5 million deal. So shit. I
So
mean,
this is
it's
last year.
not a big kind. Now I'm thinking he just re-upped on that because he been in the league 2 years, and they say he just signed a 4-year, $3.6 million deal, almost 3.7.
Well, then he here. Shit, we just gonna deal with the injuries. We know when he out there, he gonna produce. So it's just.
And if they split the reps, kind of to what y'all was saying last week, as far as trying to kind of spell McCaffrey and shit, if they kind of split the reps a little bit, and then you sprinkle in TDP and Mason, depending on, I guess, on situation or who we playing, I mean, they should be able to, load manage him. Shit, like.
Yeah, no. It would definitely be the best, especially, you know what I'm saying, when you get in that third and fourth quarter, because that's what Shanahan wants to do. You get in that third and fourth quarter. You've already done that. The way our offense is and linemen, the run game, how our wide receivers block, they're already physical enough. You watch it. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Micah Parsons had said, not last year's playoff game, but the week after, the year before that, they had asked him about basically who was the most physical team that he played during that for his rookie season. And he said after that 49er game, he was still sore for 2 weeks.
Bro, had him buzz, smash.
And that's Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? And Micah Parsons saying that, you know how everybody playing. So it's just like we play that style of ball, you know what I'm saying? It's like the load management is critical. And that changes space, that speed, and how fast they are, man. If you got a fresh McCaffrey in the fourth quarter because you've load managed them, you got a fresh Elijah Mitchell in the third and fourth quarter because you've load managed them. That not only are that defense physically worn out, but it's just another type of speed coming late in the game. And so it should be very easy for him to find a good rotation and to keep these dudes fresh. It should not be hard for Shanahan at all to figure out how to get it going and maximize these dudes to be fresh and not overused and hopefully minimize injuries.
Before we get out of here, bro, fantasy question. No legs to it at all. I mean, I've heard rumors, but there's some off the wall kind. If we had an opportunity or a way, I know you're coming off injury, to get Chase Young. Is that his name? Defensive
Oh
end.
my God, yeah.
Would you be would
Man,
you
hell
like
yeah.
that?
Hell yeah. But the problem is you gotta pay him. The
Oh, I mean,
problem
look, you say they, it's already expensive. D line. If I could just, go all in, man.
Bo's about to be 35 and Chase is gonna be 25. Like Chase is gonna get a contract, bro. Whether because if he's on the field, bro, I mean he's a monster, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's funny that you say that because before we signed Hargrave, I wanted us to trade for Brian Burns.
Panthers.
Yeah, yeah. And so because I figured that money could have gone in that facet, you know what I'm saying? And
I ain't
so
mad at that.
I don't feel like they can afford it anymore. I think the only way you could afford it is if you were able to unload Armstead. You know what I'm saying? Armstead's contract because Armstead making like 22,
And
22.
it's so hard with Armstead because he a company guy.
Oh yeah, facts. But it's also, I mean, as a GM standpoint, that's bad money management. Yes, I would love to have Chase Young, bro, and that would be crazy. I'd love to have Brian Burns, but you can't have two. You can't have that type of money, bro. I mean, to me, it's even crazy because I mean, Hargrave is getting like 18 mil a year. Uh, Armstead's getting 22 mil a year. Fucking Bosa's about to get 34 mil. I mean, like that's a lot of money. So it's like
Both are gonna be the highest paid.
oh for sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? For 100%. So it's just like you can't do that, bro. That's where this is where after watching, bro, I'll tell you what hurts the most about how this Trey Lance situation is unfolded. We literally just watched, because we don't have no fucking first round draft picks, we just watched the Eagles draft Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, bro. The Eagles, this is how bad the NFL is. This is how dumb these teams are, bro. Nolan Smith went 30th of the first round, bro. What? Nolan Smith to the bro, we had a first pick. If we had a first round, that's our dude. If we had a first rounder last year, our guy opposite Nick Bosa is Nolan Smith, bro. Nolan Smith is going to guaranteed be a Pro Bowler in 2 years. He has the potential to be a Hall of Famer, bro. Nolan Smith is that guy, bro. And the NFL let this dude drop not only to 30, 31, but to the Eagles. It's just like, what do they be doing? Like, what do these GMs be doing? Like, that's what's frustrating, bro. It's like these first round picks that we don't have, bro. Can you imagine Nolan Smith? You fixing to pay Bosa $35 million a year, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna get 33 to 35. You could have had Nolan Smith on a rookie contract on the other side of him. Bosa's prime and him starting. With Hargrave, it's just like, man, Eagles ain't going nowhere, man. We gonna have to deal with the Eagles for a minute, bro. Because they ain't going nowhere.
Impressed. When Nolan Smith sacked Purdy or hit his arm and he threw that fucking pick, we gonna revisit this conversation. I'm gonna be like, that's why I'm fucking hot. Because you're not playing a motherfucker who you paid 3 draft picks for. What? Regardless of the reason, he not good enough. That mean you didn't scout right.
100%.
It all come back to the organization dropping the ball. And so shouts out to Purdy, man. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you could get us there and actually bring it back home to us. Cause we've been there a few times, but nah, it's all good, bro. Shit,
It is what it is, man. But
hopefully they don't do this type of shit again. Trading all these draft picks, you feel me?
never
Especially
again.
for something that's not for sure.
Dude, like, man, it's just like we talked about last week. The fact that you were willing to give that up and you don't get Justin Fields, like, what are we doing, bro? Like, that is just not, bro. It's just like you can't happen, bro. In a Super Bowl window, it can't. It happened, and we're here, man. But it can't. Bro, a fucking huge mistake. But right now, right now it is because it was 2 second rounders. It's like, bro, we talking about we talking about 5 premium picks. Well, I say 4 because we still had the first rounder, so I look at it as 2.
Right.
I look at it as we had 2. We gave up 2 first rounders and a second rounder and 2 third rounders. That's what basically it cost us. And so we here, man. We here. It is what it is. But bro, having Nolan Smith, bro, on the opposite side of Bosa, man. But hopefully Drake can, we spend that first rounder on Drake. So hopefully, man, he equates. If he equates, then we ain't having this conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we will see Nolan Smith. We will see Nolan Smith moving forward, bro. And he's a problem. And
he ain't going nowhere.
He's an absolute problem. And so yeah, man. But I mean, one player don't make a team. It's just like, but harping on Nolan Smith is just because we can't pay another dude on that defensive line. We got too many different things, what I'm saying, that you got to pay for building the team and stuff like that. So we're gonna do what we do from that standpoint. But we in a hell of a good spot, one of the best rosters, if not the best roster in football. And so it's time, man. They hungry every year that we don't get it. I know them dudes is hungry, and it's about that time, man.
Not real shit, bro. Well, with that being said, man, appreciate everybody for rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to P. Warrior. Shouts out to Uncle Keith.
Yes, sir.
It's the Homie Prayers. It's Benjamin S. Faithful Boys Podcast. We bang that we can't no more. We holler at y'all next week.
Yeah. All right, bro. Great show, man. I holler.